Thank you for joining me for a few minutes to listen to my thoughts about coming back from infidelity. Today, I'm going to be focusing on what the involved partner needs to know. Previously, I focused on what the hurt partner needs to know, and if you missed that, you can watch that on my blog. Have fun. Okay, so the involved partner. There are lots of things to understand. Basically, there are two things that you just have to drill into your head: compassionate empathy and accountability. That's where you are. If you want to repair this relationship, you must be accountable. You must act with congruence about feeling bad that you hurt somebody you love. I've seen guys in particular, and women actually both, come back from affairs and they have attitude. You're humble, you're accountable, you're at the service of your partner because you understand that you hurt them. You're soft, you're not defensive, you're not about you, you're about them. As much as possible, you're generous, particularly emotionally generous. You're truthful, you're transparent, whatever they want to know. If what they want to know is too much, either too graphic or whatever, or too much in terms of volume, that's a kick out to go see a couples therapist. If you're coming back from infidelity, my basic default would be you're better off with a good couples therapist. Of course, I'm going to recommend an RLT therapist because I trust them. Anyway, accountability and empathy. Now that's hard. I'll tell you why. Because the other thing I want you to understand is that there's a built-in asymmetry in your position and your partner's position. Your secret life and whatever stress went along with that is over. You've been busted. You're out into the light. And you've been living with this for God knows how long. Your partner's nightmare has just begun. You want to get out of it. They need to get into it. They need to tell you how they feel. They need to ask you questions about what the heck went on. Where were you when you said you were here? Were you really there? Who else? Under what circumstance? How did it begin? How long did it go on? These are natural questions. They deserve to be answered. If you feel too pressed or that they're inappropriate, go to a couples therapist and let them arbitrate. This is all under the heading of what I call reassuring behaviors. I want open kimono. I want you to give your partner access to your email, your phone records, your texts. You don't get to ambush the person. The hurt partner, it has to be set up every 10 days, every 2 weeks. The two of you together go over it for 40 minutes or however long. It doesn't have to be a giant ordeal. But you engage in reassuring behaviors. If you, for example, acted out when you were at business travel, you'd be thoughtful about that. I've had people snap pictures of their room, give the landline number to their partners to call to make sure they're where they're supposed to be. Of course, there's only so much surveillance can get you, but be nice about it. Be generous. Be emotionally generous to the person you hurt. Understand that you are primed to be impatient with that person and they will need their time. I said this when I was speaking about the hurt partner. This is like a grief. It is a trauma and it is also like a grief. It will take a long time, years, before the person's fully over it. You will be hearing about their being triggered on and off for years, could be 20 years from now. You know, somebody's walking down the street and they get triggered and you have to hear about it for 10, 15 minutes and it doesn't come up again for another 20 years. It can happen. And you're okay with it. You're okay with it because you have the humility of staring into the eyes that you're the one who did it. So whatever you need, short of abuse, to repair, I will bend over backwards to give it to you. I'm truly sorry that I hurt you. Not necessarily sorry for the infidelity, sorry for the affair. I don't legislate people's feelings. So the affair may be something you have terrible feelings about, mixed feelings about, or positive feelings about. That's really, I don't believe anybody's concern. The point is that you feel horrible about the damage that you've done to the person you hurt, the kids, if they're around, to your reputation, to your own sense of congruence and integrity. So feel bad, but don't go into shame. Guilt is feeling bad about your bad behavior and still being able to hold yourself in warm regard as a flawed human being like the rest of us. Shame is, I'm a big shit, I'm terrible, blah, 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 blah. Shame is of no use to anybody. There's no favor to go into a shame state because you screwed up. Hold yourself in warm regard and feel bad about the behavior at the same time. You know that you move from shame into remorse when you move from a self-preoccupation to caring about the person you hurt. I don't care about you and how rotten you are. I care about the person you hurt. What do you need to do for them? What repair will help from them? What will help them feel better? Get over yourself. Then you have to understand that to some degree there is some narcissism involved in your having the affair. You overrode the no. It might have been absolutely necessary, busting out a prison act, but however it was, no matter how glorious for you, it was an act of betrayal and selfishness. Understand it. Understand where it comes from. Fix whatever is ailing in your marriage. Find what lit up in you in the infidelity and do your best to bring that back home. I could go on, but that's a few minutes worth. Good luck to you and to those who treat you.